Hey tech enthusiast, I am Rohit Thakur, and on this series we are diving into the exciting world of e-commerce app development. No design phase here, we are taking a Figma design and turning it into a fully functional app with a Firebase backend magic. If you're ready to code, create and innovate, hit that subscribe button and let's build some awesome apps together. Start without ado, our roadmap begins with the system design. As you can see, whenever a project came, we need to first create the system design, that how you are going to go for this project. So for system design, first came the design of the application. We already had Figma design, and I can show you here. You can see the Figma design. We have the sign up, login, forgot password. We have the visual search. We can skip that part because we don't have backend for this. How we can send the image to the backend, and then backend will search for the images and send us the result. So we will skip that part. We will go to the main page. Here we can see there is a bottom tab navigation: home, shop, back, favorites, and profile tab. So in main page we can see the initial sale, clothes, and all this stuff. In shop part we have the categories: woman, man, kids, summer sale. We are going to implement all this, and here you can see we have also have sort by. We can sort the whole stuff here. Here you can see that we can also change the layout, like this is the list view, this is the tile view. We will also implement this part also. Here we go with the filters. We will implement this also. And whole section here we have the product card page. Whenever you click on any product, you will go to this page, and this is also a stack. So cool. Short dress, rating and reviews page. This is rating and review is basically a bottom tab. What is your rate? And you can rate it. You can write and send review if you want. And here comes the adding to favorite. You can also add the cloth or a brand to your add to favorites part. So it will show here your favorite path. By clicking on this, you can add that to your cart. And here you can see the back. Here you can get all the items that you have in your cart, and you can add the promo code if you want. We will also add the promo codes. And just checkout page, submit codes, a simple checkout, here shipping addresses of a person, and at last success. So these are some of the designs we are going to make. So after ending of this, we will have a full application in our hand. Second is the backend part. In system design comes the backend, how you are going to store values of a user. So we are going to use Firebase as a backend. And the third is application storage, that your application, how you are going to store the values in your application. So we are going to use the component based states for global storage. We are going to use persist store with Redux for store management. For app UI design system, we are going to use the styled components for styling the components. And for some cases, we are going to use the inline style and style sheets if needed. We are going to use the navigation stacks and bottom tab navigation. We'll check if drawer navigation is needed or not. And for the debugging purposes, we are going to integrate a flipper into our app. That's it. So this is going to be our system design. I will add all this information in our description page. Since it is going to be a big series, I think around 20 to 30 videos, and I will try to cover it fast as fast as I can. So for today, aim of this video is first create a React Native app, adding a splash screen, and adding a bottom tab navigation and stack navigation. So let's start with coding. So to save some time, I already created the application using command npx react native latest init Shopee. I named my application as Shopee. So with this command, you will be able to create the initial setup of that file. this initial setup of the application. I can close that all. Let's change directory to Shopee here. Okay, cool. So as you can see, we have the latest application here. Let me run this application. Yarn start. Cool. And let's open into our npx react native run Android. Okay, our application is opening. Let's got it. Let's close this part. Okay, it is opening. Let's see our roadmap here. Since we have discussed all these things, aim of this video was create a React Native app, so this was done. Npx create React create React Native app at the rate latest with name, and then adding a splash screen. Let's see our application. Oh, cool. The application is working fine here. You can see the welcome to React Native. Let me go. Now our next step is going to be adding a splash screen. Let's see. Oh, where is our emulator? Here we go. Let me make it smaller. Let's go there. Let's make our application. Okay, currently we don't need this part. E-commerce app. Let's, yeah, okay, now it's look good. Let's first clean this code and remove all the stuff that we don't need. We don't need that part. We can delete this also. We can delete this also. We don't need this scroll view also. Currently we will just add the text. We'll saying hello world. We can go and delete all unused imports. We can fix all auto fixable problem. Let's delete this part also. Section, we don't need this. Let's delete this also, and let's delete this also. Let's fix all auto fixable problem. Let's delete all this also. We don't need this. Let's save it. Ah, cool. Now we have hello world in our application. So let's see what our design system is going to be. So let's go here. We don't have. Let's create a source folder here, which is going to contain all of the components and other stuff. So what I usually do is create the theme first. Theme. We are going to have the contain component. Let's name it as container only. I usually have the container part here. This is basically the splash screens and other pages. Instead of screens, I usually say the container part. We have the theme part here, and let's create in container. We are going to have the let's name as splash screen. And splash screen is going to have the splash.tsx file. Splash screen.tsx file. Let's name it as rafce. Oh, sorry, rnfe. This is the command that we can use for React Native initial setup. Let's fix all auto fixable problem. Okay, so let's see how we are going to implement this splash screen. So usually for splash screen we use the concept of stack navigation. So how let's let's see how stack navigation works. So basic concept in programming for stack is last in first out concept. The item that is been in the last position usually goes last position goes out. Like if we have screen 1, we have screen 2, we have screen 3. When we press the back button of our application, we delete we pop out the screen 3 part. Again, when we click on the back button, we pop up the screen 2 part, and then we again came to our screen 1. And whenever we click on some button, a new push is made into our stack navigation screen with screen 2, which is currently showing our screen. So this is how stack navigation works. So what we are going to use is first our initially our our stack navigation will be pointing the splash screen. After some time we are after like 2 seconds, after 2 seconds we are going to remove the splash screen from our array. We are going to remove that splash screen from our array and push the home screen to it. So this is the concept for the splash screen part. Let's implement this. Since we are going, let me comment this part. So let's see. Since we need the stack navigation, so let's start implement our navigation part. Let's go to React Native. Let's go to Google. React Native navigation. Here we go. React navigation. So this is the docs for the React Native navigation part. Let's read the docs. So let's see how Git gets started. What follows with the, if you're already familiar with the JavaScript, this is big. What follows with the fundamental section of documentation are two of the most important aspect of React navigation. You can read it if you want. So let's start with installing the application. Like let's install npx React Native. Okay, control npm install @react navigation native. Let's install this part. We don't need because we are not using expo. And then let's install this React Native screens and React Native safe area context. Let's install this also. Here we go. For if you just want your application to be work for Android, you don't need to do this part. But if you want to work it for both iOS and Android, then just go and do this part and export install iOS. Okay, let it make it do, and no need to do all that stuff. Now let's see what it is saying. Now we need to wrap the whole application in a navigation container. So this is basically, if you worked with your React application, you know that we need to add the browser router, like browser router for implementing the routes. So same for the React Native also, we need to wrap our routes to our navigation container part. So let's copy this part, Command C. We don't need that part. Let's comment it for now. And let's create one more thing. In source folder, let's create a folder with name route, which contain the app route.tsx. Let's name as rnfe, and let's create simple, copy this part, navigation container, and paste it this navigation container. We don't need this also. We can delete this. Fix all auto fixable problem. We can use, let's comment down, instead of safe area view, we can use the app route. So in order to make it a clean code, now we know that in source folder, in route, we are going to have our all routes, like for your bottom tab navigations, your stack navigation, your drawer navigation if needed. So we have this part also in our app route. We have the navigation container. Now let's see how to move to the next part. You can check here, npm install at the rate react navigation stack. So let's copy this and paste here. So this package is basically allow you to create the stack navigations that we looked earlier in our splash screen, how stack navigation work. It pushes the one screen inside an array, and then if you go further it pushes the other, but when you click on the back button, it pop out the last element from an array. So we have now with us the React navigation native stack. You can check React Native depends on React Native screens and the other library that we installed in getting started. If you haven't installed those, since we already had React Native screen, let us check first React Native screens. Yes, we do have. Now let's create a navigation container with simple stack navigator. First copy this part, const stack create navigator. Let's go to our app route. Let's see. Okay, it was outside the function. Let's copy this part, create stack navigator. This is basically giving all power to our stack. So let's create a stack navigator. Let's copy this part and paste it like this. Let's fix all splash screen. For naming conventions, let's create a type here, type.ts. Let's name it export fonts splash screen route splash screen route. Let's make it fix all auto fixable problems, splash screen route. Let's change the name to splash screen route. This is basically code cleanup method where you try to differentiate all of the stuff, like splash screen route is going to be used in different screens. So we can just import it from here, and whenever you want to change the name, you can just do the change name here, and from every screen the changes will be done. So let's see, let's comment this part, fix all auto fixable problem, fix this. Let's give the initial route name as splash screen route name, splash screen route. Nice. Let's see what is the difficulty. Delete this also, and let's fix all our flexibles. Save. Since we have added new packages, so we need to start the server again. Yarn start npx react native run, and there is our application. Okay, Yes, server already running. Okay, it will start building. Let's wait for a second. Till then, I will clean all this stuff. Okay, installing the app. So it is installing. Let's wait for a second. 100% configuring. It should show a splash screen first. In our app route. Let's wait, it is happening. Display screen and add some styling. Okay, so it is bundling. This build is all passed. Cool. Where is the splash screen? Let's save it. Let's save. Okay, here is the splash screen. So for save, because of safe area view, error was coming. Let's delete this part. Let's delete this part for now. I will explain you why we use the safe area view. Let us first create this. Okay, we don't need this also. We don't need the is dark mode. We can fix all auto fixable. Okay, cool. Look, so here comes our splash screen route. It is naming for, you can also remove the upper part, like options, header shown here, header shown to false, and it will automatically remove the header part. Since our splash screen is going to be a full yellow screen or something different, so we don't need that header part. Let's fix all this auto fixable problem. Let's go to our splash screen. And one more thing, as we have discussed in our let me show you in a design, that we are going to use the styled components for styling our views, our text and other stuff, so we can reuse it again and again. So let's start creating the, let's see what styled component is. Styled components, style components. So let's see. Let's say you want to create a simple and reusable button component that you can use throughout your application. There should be a normal version and a big and primary version for the important button. This is what it should look like when rendered. So you just need to pass the props to it, and that's it. Like, for in these two buttons, there is a difference between an primary and a secondary button. So for normal styling, you need to create the two styled components, and then you use that in your class, in your style. But in style components, you just need to pass a prop, like I want an active button as an actives, and you can write the styling for that. If you want that primary button, you can write a, you can pass a props as a primary and then add a css to that. I will show you how we implement this part. Let's install first. npm install styled components. Okay, let's install this. npm install styled components. Let it installed. Okay, since this is going to be a TypeScript, so we may need, let's wait. I think we don't need that part. Let's create a style for this. Style.ts import styled from styled components slash native export const slash container is equal to styled dot view. As you can see, it already provide you with this view part. So let's go there. Let's add a height. One more thing I want to add in source, let's create a folder common, and then we can create a file name hooks.tsx which gonna contain some of the stuff that we are going to use again and again. Like we want some in application, we want screen width, so we can do the dimensions dot get and window dot width, and same go with the export const screen height. We can go with dimensions dot get window dot height. So we can use this part as we want our application to be of full height. So that's why screen height, let's import it there, screen height. And the next step is let's do the flex direction as row, because we want that to be our image, that to be in center. So let's do the background color for now. For testing purposes, red. We will create a theme for that, like which color we need to show. Let's align items as center. Let's justify content as center, and that's it. Let's import this as a view slash container. Currently this is, let's do this also, fix all auto fixable problem, and let's do this also, fix all auto fixable problem. We don't need this part, and let's save it. I think we need to again, no need for that. As you can see, without applying this styled sheet, like in some cases we create something like this style sheet, from style comp from React Native dot create, and then create the classes like splash screen with some color and other stuff. So we can also do like this also, but for some cases we need to pass the props. Like I want, like in these cases, I teach you how we use the prop section. Like if I want splash screen color to be changed, as I pass like splash screen color as string, let's this, okay, background color should be changed as I send to this component. So let's do as props dot color. Here you go. If color is there, let's make it, we can do the optional also. Let's make it optional. If color is there, then this, else red. And as we save, as you can show, it is showing the red color because we didn't send any color. If if we send the color as green, then it will show the green color. So if we use the style sheet, then we need to create the different class styles name in order to change just the color, or different color in order to change these. style of the color. In this case, we just need to send as a prop, and it just changes the part. So let's change it. Now we can, I think we can just do it like this only. And here we go. Fix all auto fixable. We will add the image here, but let's see how to do the splash screen part. Like after 5 seconds, we move to the home screen. Now let's go to our app route. Let's create one more route here, stack screen. Let's do the home screen, or let's name as home page, and let's route is as home screen route. Home screen route, let's name is as home screen route here. We don't have home page for now, so we will create in our source container. As I told you, container is going to contain the all the screens that we need. So this is my way of handling the project. You can have your own way also. So here we go to the home page. Here we have the homepage.tsx file, rnfe. Let's see, this is the home page. Let's import here homepage. Nice. Now we have the homepage component also. And then let's save it. Everything is fine, looking fine. Fix all auto fixable problem, or type like this. Okay. Now let's see how we can implement this splash screen stuff here. So as we know how use effect works, so here comes the concept of use effect. I hope you all know. If you don't know, no worries. So use effect is a let me 1 minute. So let's see what use effect is. Let's go here, concept of use effect, using the use effect. Let me explain in your simple words what use effect is without going to the documentation. So whenever a screen render, a function calls automatically is the use effect. So use effect contain a callback function. So it is basically a function that is called at the time when screen renders. It contains a dependencies array that if you want a function to be execute again and again as per some state or anything else, then you need use effects. So let me conclude in simple words. A function that execute at the start of the screen renders, and if you want to call it again, you need to pass something that changes into the dependency array. So this is the basic stuff, a function that execute at the start of the screen renders, and if you want to call it again, you need to pass something that changes into the dependency array, and this is the dependency array, this one. So let's see. Let's create a, you can check out in the React Native docs also what use effect is, and let's create a timeout function that set timeout. So what I will explain you, what I want is after 2 seconds, the splash screen, as I have initially told you, the splash screen from the stack pops out and replaces the home screen. So this is the basic functioning I want. So that I want whenever after 2 second or a 3 second timeout. So let's do the const timeout. Let's create a variable constant. Let's create a constant. Let to set timeout as index. Let's create as 0. Okay, 1 minute. Something went wrong. Okay. Okay, set timeout. So this basically needed two stuff. One is the function that is going to execute. Second is the time. Let's give as 200. 2000 here denote the 2 seconds. 1000 here denote the 1 seconds. So I'm going to do it as 3000 for now. So for 3 seconds we will see that screen, and after 3 seconds we will move to the home screen. So here comes our navigation. There's two ways to get the navigation part. One is the const navigation is equal to use navigation, and 1 minute. You use navigation and then pass navigation prop and param list base, and this is one of the way, as a since this splash screen is inside our tag navigation container, so it do contain all the properties of the navigation prop. If you ever worked with the use context part, like the everything wrapped inside the context can access the values of that context state. This is basically like that only. So navigation, we can use navigation also, like navigation dot reset. This is one of the way. I will explain you the other way also. Navigation like index 0, and let's route to the this is what we are replacing the route with the new route, like home screen route, and fix all auto fixable problem. This happen. Let's return clear timeout and timeout. So whenever, so what, so this return always executes whenever a screen goes out of the focus or it moves to the next part. So this function called, so whenever we go to the next screen or this particular screens, I can say remove from the stack, then we need to clear the timeout that we have created earlier for this part. So this is one of the way we can use the navigation. Other is you can do is type command C splash screen props. Here goes the navigation, and then same as this type is going to be same. We can do the FC function component. Here we also have the navigation part. So if I remove this part, then also it will work, because what is happening is this splash screen is in our app route, and this component is already inside the navigation container and passing all of the stuffs as a prop to the splash screen, and navigation is also one of the part we are sending from navigation container to this screen. So we can also do like this also. We can also do like this by accessing the use navigation. So it is your call. I don't think it is much difference. It gives much of the difference between both of that, but you can look into it. Let me comment this also. Okay, cool. Let's see whether it is working or not. Initially we have splash screen. After 3 seconds we will move to the home screen route. Let's save it. Let's cool. Here you can see that splash screen changes to the home page screen. And now if you go back, it will get closed because we have set index as 0. We completely removed that screen from the array. And next time if you again, oh, 1 minute, if you again, okay, where it went, okay, it went somewhere. 1 minute, let me check. Okay, let me close this one. Quit. Let me close this one and again start the yarn. Okay, yarn start. Let's do the npx react native run iOS. Let's also check in our iOS application. Don't know where it went. I want to quit this. Quit. Okay, something went wrong with the Android application. No worries. We can go with the iOS application. Let's do this. Okay. So here comes our application. Let's hit third generation. Let's again see whether on iOS it is working or not. So this is how we implement this splash screen in our application. Let me comment this part, fix all auto fixable problem. I will add all this code in our GitHub repo, or where you can go and clone it and check in your own system. Okay, so splash screen is done. Let's see our notes section here. What is that? Let's wait for a minute. Let's open some our sticker. Let's make it big. Okay, so what we thought, create a React Native app, done. Adding a splash screen, done. We have created the basic. We will add the image also. Basic functionality, done. Now let's create a bottom tab navigation, and also we have added this stack navigation. As you can see, from splash screen to the home screen is basically the stack navigation. So stack navigation done. Now we will add the basic bottom navigation to our application. Let's wait for a second. I don't know why. So, where our Android application went? No problem. Let's this third generation. Cool. Let's add some bottom navigation. Let's go to the Chrome. 1 minute. Let's go to our Chrome. Now in our hello navigation, we can see there should be a bottom navigation also. This is stack navigation. We have done that part. You can go to this documentation also for further researches, like option title. You can change the title if you want. Here you can see that props, home screen props, you can pass all the props. That navigation also is also in props only, and then move between screen. In here we have, in our websites we have anchor tags to go to other places. Here we have navigate to go different screens. As we go further, so it looks something like this. This is basically stack, and you can go back by clicking on the back button also, or sliding. This is passing parameter. You can pass the parameter. We will also do this part also. We will cover this part also while explaining other stuffs. Let's see our bottom tab navigation. Navigators, tag, bottom tabs. Here we go. So we are going to create something like this here. As you can see, article, chat, contact, album, and all other stuff. Let's copy this part. Okay, so it worked. As you can see, we are in the home screen. I told you that what is the let's see, safe area view. As we can see, as we have seen earlier in app.tsx, there was safe area view. So for iOS, as you can see, the home part is inside this date part. So some of the part got beside our notification. So in order to fix this, we have safe area view, React Native safe area. For Android, it is not the problem, but for iOS it do, because it has nozzle something. So safe area view, we can add the style as flex1 and save it. Now you can see that home page is downward to the 1150 or timing part. So safe area view is basically helping you to start your home page with the screen, not above the not start of the screen. So here we have the home page. Now let's start adding the bottom tab navigation. So what is the best way to add the bottom tab navigation? Let's see. So app route contains all the stack navigation, and since we want a bottom tab navigation for our home screen, so we can add const bottom tabs, and then we are going to call this bottom tabs in our home page screen. So here we go. Let's const bottom tab is equal to create bottom. Okay, we didn't install the, okay, wait. Let's install this part, npm install @react native bottom tabs. Let's check out, we don't need anything else, we just need this create bottom tab navigator. We want to import from this. Let's copy this part and paste here, and we just need to go this, and let's do the return, and here, oh sorry, and here we go. This is going to be our home page. We don't have any other screen for now, but we are going to have, let's see our Figma ones. We are going to have our home shop bag. Let's create home shop bag. This one is favorites, and the last one is profile. So home shop bag favorite, and last one is the profile. So we don't have this one, so we can comment it for now, and let's do the fix all out of box fixable problem. Let's name it to the home screen route, and in our route page let's add one more, export const bottom tab navigation as name for our bottom tab navigation. So bottom tab navigation, home page. No, sorry. You can go to the app route and change name to bottom tab navigation and bottom tabs. Here we go. So fix all auto fixable. We need to reload the application. Yarn start. React Native run iOS. Okay, let's see in our iOS application whether bottom navigation worked or not. Currently we have only one. Let's add other also. Till then we can also add the, okay, get installed back. Here is our splash screen. Here is our home page. 1 minute. Bag route. Bag. Let's name it as bag route. App route. Let's name it bag route and let's save it. So here comes our splash screen. The action reset with payload. Let's do the reload part. Splash screen route. Okay, something went wrong. Bottom tab navigation. Okay, so problem is we need to change that route here also, bottom tab navigation, so that it went to that part. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So here you can see that we are in the home page. We do have the bag route also. Isn't it cool to have the bottom tab now? We have bag route, we have home screen route. Let's create different routes for now. Also, let's create the shop route. Let's name it as back screen route, back screen route. Let's name other as shop profile. So you are a favorite, and let's name as profile. Okay, cool. So let's name as favorite route, FAVOU, favorite screen route. Let's name it as profile screen route. Let's name it as shop screen route. Cool. Let's create a container for that also. We are going to have the shop. Let me show you one more thing. If you want to create a file, so you just need to do shop slash shop slash shop.tsx and press enter. You will create a folder, and then this is the shortcut that I know recently. Shop rnf 1 minute rnfe. We have the shop now. Let's name it as shop screen out as shop, and let's create one more back cart back cart.tsx rnfe. Let's name it as back cart.tsx back cart. And favorite screen route, let's create a one more container, favorite .tsx rnfe. Okay, so let's go to our this homepage favorite. And last one is the profile. Profile, profile.tsx, rnfe profile. Here we go to the profile. Cool. Okay, so there is an error, undefined name for the screen. Let me reload this. Splash screen. Okay, there is an error. Get an invalid name undefined for the screen. It must be a non-empty string. So it must be showing. Okay, so this is not back screen route. This should be a back screen route. Component back cart. Nice. As you can see, we have home screen, shop screen, back screen, favorite, profile section, and other stuff. You can change the name also if you want. Like options, let's go to the let's name as let's go and check out the documentation. So name will show as the name here, initial route name, screen options, screen container styles. Here you can see how to change the name if you want. Is focused, navigation, searchable is focused, text style, and other stuff. So I think title should be the name. Okay, title. So with title you can name as home, and let's save it. Okay, sorry, title. Let's name it, and yeah, you can see their home name, screen, back, profile. Okay, congratulations fellow creator, you have just taken a significant leap forward on our journey to crafting an exceptional e-commerce app. In this video, we covered the essential of system design, set up an engaging splash screen, and establish a solid foundation with a text stack and bottom tab navigation. We demystified the process of system design, breaking down the blueprint that guides our entire app. From data flow to user interaction, our design acts as the backbone for our development journey. In the next video, we are delving into the world of icons and assets, how you can use the React Native vector icons and React Native assets into your application so that you can use it and make it more interactive or immersive experience for the users. As we wrap up today's insight, remember that learning a continuous journey. If you are as excited as I am about the endless possibility of app development, hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our upcoming videos. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey towards app creation. Let's continue pushing boundaries, expanding our horizons, and transforming ideas into reality. Thank you.